Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you the CDC setup, which is the change data capture, and we are going to provision our Kafka cluster right on our EKS AWS. So let's begin. So guys, for the CDC, what we are going to use, we are going to use the Mongo and we are going to use the Mongo Atlas. Regarding the Mongo Atlas, I need to tell you that you need to, if you are a DevOps engineer or a developer or you're a testing, simply you need to have a Gmail account or you can use the simple email address and password setup with Atlas Mongo and sign up for free and spin up this shared cluster. You don't have to spend any money regarding that. So what this is what I have done exactly right. So in order to connect this cluster, simply connect this and what it does is going to you it is going to show you the commands. And let's say this is the command which we are going to use to connect if you are using the CLI. But guys, definitely we are not using the CLI. What we are going to do, and I'm going to show you that shortly. Um, but before that, you need to have this important setup. You need to make sure you should put your IP address. I'm going to also recommend you if you're using the production setup to add the net gateway IP or do the peering, right? Anyway, this is the demo setup. So, okay, that is fine. And other thing regarding that database. So, guys, how this database is actually coming up here in my localhost. So I'm going to show you this part shortly, and I've added some of the sample data which you shown here. This is the sample data, and we are going to add one database here, right? So if I navigate to this repository and I'm going to add the link of this particular repository, Kafka Bitnami, I added two links. One is regarding the AWS EKS Kubernetes setup and the Mongo Atlas. For this demo, guys, you can use any Kubernetes cluster, whether you're local or AKS or GKE. I'm using EKS this time. Previously, I used Khan cluster. You can use any Kubernetes cluster that will work, right? So regarding the Mongo Atlas, how it is come. So simply click this guy. This will open this in another tab, and let me open this guy. So guys, this is the Docker command you can use. So simply you need to update the Mongo URL. You need to update your Mongo user and password, the endpoint. I'm using this endpoint, right? So simply use this, and I've already pushed the image to my public Docker registry, right? So anyway, use this particular command, or if you want to bring this guy in Kubernetes, you need to use this deployment YAML and update this part according to your endpoint credentials. So let me close this part. So I've already bring that in my local machine. You want to bring that in Kubernetes, just totally up to you. So let's navigate back to our section. So we need, I mean, one Kubernetes cluster. We need Atlas Mongo definitely to do the CDC. So what I've done, I've let me show you that part regarding the Terraform. I spin up the Kubernetes cluster. Regarding that, I've added the link of this particular repository. So in past, I've created the videos regarding that. So simply you need to clone this repo CD into this guy and simply use this particular command to provision that. You need to make sure you should have your AWS credentials available, right? So that is it regarding the Kubernetes cluster. We have our Kubernetes cluster. So let me bring that guy. So I'm going to use this command AWS EKS update cube. Okay, I think it's going to be dash cube config. The name of the cluster is going to be Cloud Geeks EKS Terabyte, and the region is going to be US East 1. So it is going to bring the context. locally in your machine. I'm using the container. So kubectl get nodes. Guys, regarding this container, I already made videos. So this is the Chasm desktop complete. You can say that OS in my local machine. So I've installed the client here. Although I'm using Windows, I can install that uh, outside as well, which I've already done that. But I don't want to pollute my system, right? So that's why everything is available here and in an encrypted way. So anyway, if I navigate to my EKS section, let me simply type that. So uh, or click this guy, right? So this is the version which I provision. So in that particular default repo, I have that version. So this is available, right? I guess you can upgrade to a 1.2.8, which is the latest. Anyway, regarding this demo, that is fine, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to provision the Kafka cluster. This is the Kafka values.yaml. So what you need to do, clone this particular repo, and I've added the persistence and required Kafka variable which we need. So simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the command which I've already added here, right? So you need to make sure regarding the repository, you need to make sure simply you use this particular command inside that particular repository. So okay, and one thing I need to add. Okay, so I've cloned this repo Kafka Bitnami, right? So I've deployed my Kubernetes cluster through Terraform EKS, and I'm inside this. So in this we have this all these values YAML. So we are currently working with this Kafka values.yaml to provision our cluster. What I'm going to do, let me do Control D here. So Chasm user, I need to bring that part. So let me just paste the command previously, which, okay, it has copied this guy anyway. So I'm going to simply copy this command, right? And I'm going to bring this guy in my Chasm user as well. So it has added the context, right? So, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch back to my lens section and click the cluster and click this guy. So let's see, it is connecting and it has actually connected. So regarding the workloads, pods, currently we don't have any namespace regarding the Kafka. So once we provide this particular command, okay, let me show you the command regarding the repos you need to add. So you need to clone the repo, add this particular command. So what it does, it is going to add the uh, Bitnami Kafka repository from the remote into your local, right? So, and then we are going to use these values. So you don't have to do anything regarding this. So simply you need to navigate to this section, and I've set up the persistence to 8 gigs. You can set it up here. So simply you need to paste this command here. Okay, and this is the latest version, guys, but we are going to, use this particular version, which I already have tested. If you want to do testing, you can do that. So anyway, what this do, it is going to provision three zookeepers, three brokers, Kafka brokers, and with persistence regarding the data storage as well. So if I navigate to my section, I'm going to narrow it down to um, Kafka shortly once it's going to be available. So let's wait for a while, and shortly you will see that a namespace is going to be available, and I've set it the command. So it is provisioning, and it is provisioning which we have already discussed, right? And let it provision. And if you navigate to the storage section regarding the persistence, so regarding the Kafka brokers, we have 8 gigs along with the log persistence, which makes your Kafka cluster highly available, is going to add additional 8 gigs and 2 gigs for um, your zookeeper for each node, right? So the pods are going to be shortly available. Once they are available, we are going to access our Kafka cluster from the web UI, not through the CLI. Regarding the web UI, guys, what you need to do, simply navigate to this section in my README MD. So regarding the web UI, guys, I've already added the caf drop values.yml. So here you also don't have to do anything because I've already added the broker endpoint for the connectivity. And this point endpoint you can see from this section. If you navigate to services network, and this is the endpoint which we are looking to connect, which is the Kafka release headless service, right? So once you clone this repo, right? So if I do ls here, this cap.values.yml is available. But to make this work, what you need to do, you need to clone this cap.drop kit, and we are going to use our custom values, which I've already added. So you need to make sure you install that particular repository. You've done that, right? I mean, so not install it, simply clone it. And what it does, it is going to bring that cap.drop directory, and in that, I've added a command regarding the installation. So we are going to install the CapRob in the same namespace, right? And it has this, chart, um, right, path. So I'm going to simply do the installation regarding the CapRob. So guys, after installing the CapRob, I'm going to connect with my Kafka cluster, and I'm going to create one topic. And what would be the name of this topic regarding that? So guys, regarding that topic, if you scroll it more down, so this is the CDC setup, and regarding that, I've mentioned the topic prefix is going to be dev test, right? So let's back to our pod section, see the status of cap drop. So currently it is provisioning, and once it is available, we should be able to access that cap drop, and we are going to navigate back to the services section. And if I click this section cap drop, scroll it down, forward this port to any random, or if you want to have a specific port, you can definitely do that. No issues with that. So right, so let's do that. So as you see, we are able to access our Kafka cluster from the web UI. What I'm going to do, which in fact I've already done the testing. So let's try to create one topic here, and the topic name is going to be dev.test, right? So let's try to create one topic, right? And it has a number of partition 1, and the application factor is going to be 3, right? So you see one topic is available. So that part is done. Now what we are going to do, okay, now we are going to set up the Debezium in our Kafka, which is going to connect with our Kafka cluster, and I'm going to add one connector. So with Debezium, you can add many connector. We are going to use the connector Mongo Atlas, right, which we are actually mentioning here. You can use the MySQL or Postgres, whatever you want to use regarding this your CDC setup, right? So regarding the Debezium, guys, I'm going to now set up the Debezium. So regarding the Debezium setup, again, you need to clone this Debezium Helm chart. So I'm going to exactly do that. So let's do clear screen, and if I do simply use this command, what it does, it is going to clone this Debezium chart here, and then simply I'm going to navigate back to this section. So regarding the Debezium internal connectivity, um, we can, use our same Kafka headless service. So again, you don't have to do anything. And these are some of the tags which we are going to use. And regarding those tags, I've already added the links, right? So what you need to do, guys, simply copy this particular one and paste it here. So let's do that. So guys, what it does, it is going to, simply set up the Debezium inside our Kafka cluster. So if I navigate back to the pod section, you will shortly see the two pods are going to be available. So currently it is in provisioning state. And if I navigate to the section helm releases, you will see the three releases are going to be available. So this is the last release regarding the Debezium which we are setting up. All right. And if I navigate to the pod section, so let's do that. So the Debezium UI is available, and we can see the Debezium UI in, Debezium connector in the UI, and this is the connector, right? So we are going to, first of all, let's see the Debezium UI. And if I navigate back to the network section and port forward this guy to any random port. So let's do that. So you will see this guy is available shortly, and we are going to set up one correct connector here. And the connector is going to be the Mongo Atlas. We are going to set up through the CLI, right? So, okay, let's do that. Let it, uh, I mean, uh, for the connector setup, guys, what you need to do, let me close this guy. So if you navigate to this service section, you have the Debezium Connect, you have the Debezium UI. You need to click the Debezium Connect and port forward to the same port. And the reason I'm using the same port, I've added the command regarding that, and just you need to update the path regarding that. I'm going to show you. So click start. What it does, it is going to port forward to localhost. Now my container localhost is 8083. So I'm able to access this guy locally. So first of all, let's see the connectivity, right? So if I do let's see here, you see the Mongo Atlas Connector.json, and I'm going to show you that part as well. So first of all, check the connectivity curl-v telnet to this guy, localhost. You see, I'm able to connect, which means the connectivity is there, right? So guys, regarding this connector JSON, you need to update these parameters. This is the endpoint where you need to put your username, password, and this is the endpoint of your cluster. And you also need to put the username and password here as well, right? So this is the topic, guys, we have already created. But one thing which we have not yet created, before setting up the connector, I need to set up one database. To set the, I'm going to use this database name, and you can add any collection name here. Let's try to simply paste this name here, or you can add any name. So guys, you see this database is available, and we have this test stream available. And these are some of the sample stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, let's say I'm going to copy this um, JSON, and or you can say the collection, right, which is in the JSON format. And if I navigate to this test stream, and I'm going to add document here, right? So I'm going to add this particular document here. You see, this document is added. So guys, now what I'm going to do, if I navigate back to the repository, and this is the command I'm going to use, you need to make sure this is the absolute path I've given. So this has one issue. Let me show you this part. So I need to update this path, because currently, if you see, my PWD is this one, present working directory. So, right. So I need to make sure that I should put this, the name of this repository. You can definitely give your absolute path according to your need, or if you don't want to give, you can do that as well. So guys, I'm going to connect with localhost, and I'm going to add this particular connector, right? So let's do that. So it seems to be successfully created, and if I navigate back to my the Debezium UI, just try to refresh it. So I should be able to see one connector, but definitely I need to check the logs, guys, because definitely you will see the visibility of the issues, what you have regarding that. So our Mongo Atlas connector, and the name is we have already defined in our um, JSON. This is the Mongo Atlas. You can give it any name, right? So regarding the logs, you need to navigate to the pod section, see the connector logs. These are very important, and these logs will give you the visibility that what is going on with your connectivity, which we have set it up. So, okay, let's see what we have in case of any issues. This is my username, and in case of any issues, we need to check that part, right? So, okay, seems to be some of the exception I'm getting, you see. So that is why you need to make sure you can check this part. So that's why I'm showing you this part. I need to check my connector.json, and I will be back with you guys shortly, right? So guys, I've shown you very important point which you must consider regarding the logging, because this will take a lot of time and confusion, right? So what I'm going to do to remove this, you can simply get rid of this connector from the CLI, which I've already added the command, and from the UI, you can create it and delete it as well. So we are going to, recreate the container because I've already updated my JSON file. So I'm going to use the same command to recreate this particular container. So I have some issues in my credentials which I need to fix. So let's try to see, or you might after creating that you might need to restart your connector, but definitely let's try to see the logs. What are the logs? We might not need to create any logs. So okay, we have set up the logs, and if you see some of the stuff regarding the connectivity, so what it does, it is going to, you see, this is my endpoint using this endpoint, and these are the credential connecting string. So it has opened the connection. Now credentials, you see, now able to see the shards. We have 3 shards in the shared cluster provided by the Mongo. That seems to be in good shape, right? So guys, what we are going to do now, um, it is resetting the last partition. And if I navigate to this section in the cap drop, and let's try to simply refresh what it has set up automatically here. So if I try to refresh it here, you see some of the stuff is now available. So you see it has now the BGM heartbeat, which we have added from the connector.json, and these are the default stuff which it has automatically, right? And what we are going to do regarding the CDC setup. So if I do any change in my database, what it does, it is going to create what? It is going to create the new topic, right? And see what it does. If I do change, definitely from your side, your application is going to be do the changing regarding your database. Let's say the limits, I want to set it up manually. Um, this is the change your application does, but in this demo we are doing ourselves. I'm going to save this stuff in database. Let's see and try to refresh. You see, one stream has been created by this guy, right? And you see, it is able to connect. You can see all the stuff in your logs. So it beautifully set it up all the stuff, and it has actually bringing the stuff that we are looking for here. So you see, currently the offset size, the last offset is 1. Let's try to do one more change here, and you will see that the offset is going to be updated. So if I bring this guy, let's say I'm going to change some of the stuff in my collection, right? And this change is in my database, and I've done that. And let's try to refresh it. You see, the offset is now changed. This is our dev test stream, test.stream, right? And so you see, this is what we have actually set up. This is the test stream, and some of the prefix we have already set it up. So you see, everything is beautifully coming in our change CDC setup, which we are, this is the change we are doing in our cluster, and it is bringing that change in our Kubernetes Kafka cluster through this connector, and that's what we need to have set up in this demo, right? So, guys, that's all I guess regarding this demo. And okay, and if I navigate to this gap drop, you see um, this is what we have. Guys, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.